The sun hung low over the horizon, bleeding orange and crimson into the dusty sky. A stretch of forgotten desert road, cracked and lined with rusted fence posts, echoed with the rumble of engines. They came like thunder, 8 bikes, chrome to the teeth, roaring down the 2-lane blacktop, the kind of gang that made towns lock their doors early. They called themselves the Black Fangs. Leather jackets, snake tattoos, boots caked in dust and blood. At their head was rider Mad Dog Kane, a man whose eyes hadn't blinked since 1997 and whose fists were famous in 5 counties. But they didn't expect to see him. A lone figure stood in the center of the road. Bent, frail-looking, with a sun-faded cap, a long brown coat, and a wooden cane planted firmly in the dirt. He didn't move. Mad Dog revved once, twice. The gang tightened up, closing in like a pack of wolves. But the old man didn't flinch. Then, without a word, he dropped the cane. It hit the ground with a soft thud, kicking up a small puff of dust. Then the man slowly, deliberately, raised his fists. Knuckles white, shoulders straight, his eyes hard as granite. "Who the hell is this?" one of the bikers spat, laughing nervously. "Move, old man," Mad Dog growled. "Last warning." The old man didn't move. Then came the shift, subtle but unmistakable. The gang felt it before they saw it. This wasn't a frail senior citizen. This was someone dangerous. 30 years earlier, his name was Elias Crow. Military records erased, missions classified, a shadow operative buried in black ink and burned files. People whispered about the Shepherd, a ghost of a man who could walk through fire and leave no footprints. He left that world behind, found peace in a dusty trailer park 3 miles from nowhere, gardening, feeding stray cats, watching sunsets with a thermos of coffee. Until tonight, the Black Fangs hurt someone they shouldn't have. "Hit him!" Mad Dog snapped. The youngest biker, eager to prove himself, gunned his engine and charged. Elias exhaled once, then he moved, a blur of motion, a twist, a sidestep, one hand on the kid's shoulder, the other under his chin. Snap! The rider hit the dirt like a sack of bricks, unconscious before his body landed. The gang froze. "Is he dead?" someone whispered. "No," Elias said, his voice like gravel. "But he'll wish he was." Another charged, a spinning backfist, a knee to the ribs. 2 more tried together. Elias ducked low, sweeping their legs in one motion. They hit the ground with a crash, helmets cracking. Mad Dog snarled, "Kill him!" 4 bikers at once. It wasn't a fight. It was surgical destruction. One had his wrist snapped mid-punch. Another was disarmed with his own chain and choked out in 7 seconds. Elias moved like water, every strike precise, deliberate, merciless. Only Mad Dog remained. He stepped off his bike, cracking his knuckles. "You made your point, old man." "You made yours yesterday," Elias said quietly, eyes narrowing. Mad Dog frowned. "What are you talking about?" "You remember the gas station, the girl with the dog?" Something flickered in Mad Dog's eyes. "She's my granddaughter." Silence. Wind blew. A single tumbleweed rolled by, like something out of an old western. Mad Dog charged. The ground shook under his boots. Elias didn't move. At the last second, he sidestepped, turned, and drove an elbow into Mad Dog's spine with a sickening crunch. The biker dropped to one knee, roaring in pain. Elias grabbed his collar, pulled him close. "You want to be a monster?" he hissed. "Fine, but monsters don't get mercy." Then he let go. Mad Dog slumped over, barely breathing. Sirens wailed in the distance. Elias picked up his cane. Every biker lay groaning on the ground. He turned toward the sunset, walking into it as if the chaos behind him never happened. The sheriff arrived minutes later. "What the hell happened here?" A gas station attendant who had watched the whole thing from behind a cactus said only one word: justice. Sometimes the strongest man in the room is the one everyone overlooks, and sometimes the quietest person carries the loudest past. Never mistake age for weakness or silence for surrender, because some legends don't fade. They wait.